In this video, we are going to wrap up our Walt Disney World vacation. We're going to be talking about how much it costs. We're going to be talking about the resort we stayed at. I've had some questions from you all about particular parks, particular things, food, whatever, and so we're going to be answering all that. I do want you to know right from the start, though, this is going to be our true thoughts. I know there are some die-hard Disney fans, which I would consider Kevin and I to be Disney fans. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I'm not going to gloss over things. We're going to give you our true opinion.
And it's just our opinion too.
And it's our opinion. But if that's, everybody has their opinion and they're entitled to it. So I know some people don't want anything negative to be said. And I can tell you right now, this video is going to include the good parts, but the bad parts. In my vlogs, the Disney vlogs for every day, I kept those very positive. I included all the fun stuff when we were going on the rides and the rides and just showing you around, and I tried to make those as fun as possible. But then in the wrap up, we try to kind of give you a behind the scenes look at the things that might have really been going on. And then I know in one night we got back to the room and we just really let it fly how we felt, and I cut a lot of that out from the wrap up because once I got home I was like, oh my gosh, we were a little bit too brutally honest, and people don't want, there are some people who just would have been offended that we were so blunt. But that's what this video is going to be. So we'll be telling you our true feelings. So People wanted to know, well, first of all, let's do our hotel review. Mm-hmm. We stayed at a place we'd never stayed at before.
Mm-hmm. The Yacht Club.
Called the Yacht Club. And I thought it was a beautiful hotel.
It was a nice
place. A beautiful
place.
resort.
Yeah. You can tell they cater more towards a different clientele than some of the other ones.
That's a good way to say it.
What are they called? You got the deluxe, and then you got the moderates or something like that. You can tell they cater to a completely different group of people.
Yes.
I don't consider us deluxe people. I prefer actually the more moderate priced resort, like the Art of Animation and the Pop Centuries. I like those better.
Well, the thing that we really noticed, and since we talked about this, like I said, during a wrap-up, but then I cut it out because I thought really this would be better for a wrap-up video for the whole trip. What we noticed when Kevin says a different clientele, a great example of that is the gift shop. Mm-hmm. Well, like Pop Century and Art of Animation and the music, I don't know what they're all called.
ESPN Sport, all those.
All those. When you go to like the gift shop,
it's a full-on gift shop, like a Disney store almost.
Yes, yes. It has toys, puzzles, games. There's hair accessories and clothes, and there's just tons and tons of stuff for everybody.
At least there was the last time we went. Now they may have changed it, but I bet
it's the exact same. Nah, I bet it's the same. But the Yacht Club has
one little store.
Yeah, it's very small and it's very expensive.
Yeah, they're selling like boat clothes, like yacht dressing clothes.
Yes,
and bags.
Like they're selling $130 shirts.
Yeah, there's a brand. That's what they had was really, really expensive clothing and stuff.
I can't even think. I'm just drawing a blank. But anyway, you all would have watched it. Yes, they have very expensive clothing, purses. There was one little section of things you might need that you forgot to bring with you. Toiletries.
Yeah, like toothbrushes and literally, it was like one little side shelf Whereas the other ones have a whole section of stuff you may have forgotten, including diapers and stuff, which I don't even remember if that little market in Yacht Club even had stuff like that.
No, they didn't have like toys for kids.
Yeah, it was just different,
Very different, very upscale. They had perfumes. They had some jewelry.
So if you wanted to get a Mickey Mouse T-shirt, you were out of luck.
They had like the Lily Pulitzer brand for women, which is more expensive, and it was all expensive stuff.
And if that's what you want, that's great. But me and Tammy kind of like the
down to earth stuff that let me give me the opportunity to buy some tub toys for the grandkids. There wasn't, but there's not any of that.
No.
But it is a more upscale place. It's very nice. I do think they need to add more to the gift shop. I mean, because I don't care who you are, you enjoy toys and stuff like that. The kids, you might want to go down there and get something for the kids to play with in the room.
I think there's less kids at the Yacht Club than there was anywhere else.
Yes,
that's a big
definitely.
difference too.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see a lot of young kids running around the Yacht Club.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't see a lot of people running around, period. Right. If you think about it.
No.
Also, their food court is completely different. The food area for the Yacht Club?
Well, it's not called a food court. It was called the marketplace. So half of it was the store we're just telling you about with really upscale things. And the other side of it had very, very few things.
Limited selection.
Yes. Whereas when you go in Pop Century, you can have a full-on meal.
Oh, yeah.
there.
You could have
breakfast,
pizza
lunch,
or whatever.
dinner. Yes. I mean, we ate
ice
in there.
cream cones and all kinds of stuff. They just didn't have any of that stuff.
No. So, and they closed early. So
yeah, they closed at 11.
11. So like there were times when we knew we were at the park, and we knew if we don't buy a bottle of Coke at the park, then you're going to be out of luck when you get back, because there's not going to be any place. It's going to be closed. And so that was it was nice to stay there one time.
Yeah, it was. The rooms were nice and everything.
Yes, it was.
Nice.
And the thing that I really liked about it was that it was close to Epcot. So the day we went to Epcot, it's like literally a 15-minute walk. So the day we were at Epcot, we went back to the room twice, which was great. But would I choose to stay there again? I wouldn't. I would just as soon stay at Pop Century.
Yeah,
especially if you're like us and you get up really early at the park opening and you're gone all day long and you're only going back to the room to shower and sleep. Well, then what's the point in paying all that money? Because we don't go swimming or anything. We've never been swimming when we've been to Disney. It's just not our, that's not why we're going. We could go swimming around here somewhere if we want to go swimming. That's not special to us. But would I purposefully choose that again? No, just because I'm fine with Pop Century.
But then again, that's a personal preference.
Personal preference.
If you want that more upscale thing going on, then go for it.
Yeah.
We also noticed one other difference is the bus service.
Oh, yes.
The bus service is like
Big
massively different.
Big difference.
Than the other ones. Now, the Yacht Club does not have bus service to Epcot or Hollywood. You have to take you'd walk over to Epcot, or you can take a boat, or you can walk over to Hollywood, which is a little bit longer of a walk. It's like 40 minutes or 30 minutes or something, maybe 20 or 30 minutes. Or you can take a boat, which is what we did. There is no bus service to those two.
Right.
So, but they have one bus stop for everybody. I did notice though that really there wasn't a lot of people waiting around for buses to catch them. The bad thing is you had to wait to catch them. That was what was bad about them. You kind of had to wait around for buses. It's like they didn't come there as often.
No, and to me that is a big negative about it.
Yeah.
Is when you go, like if you're staying at Pop Century, and we've done videos of that previously, but if you're staying at Pop Century, they have like a queue for each park, because that's where all the families stay, all the people with kids, and I mean, you just get tons of people going to the parks, and so you have a queue for each park. This place, it was one waiting area
It was roofed over, so you didn't have to stand in the sun or rain or whatever.
But it was one waiting area, and it did seem to take longer. It's like they don't visit the yacht club as often to pick you up to take you to the park.
Or take you from the park back to the yacht club. Those seem to be a lot longer between those two.
The wait was brutal. Some nights it was so very, very cold. But I'm just thinking any time of year, I wouldn't want to wait that long for my bus to come when all the other resorts were getting picked up like that.
We saw some of them, like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, would have multiple buses coming, and like, where's our bus? Where's the bus for the yacht club? So I personally, even though it's nice, I love the theming. I love that everything was very crisp and white, and it had really beautiful blue, cobalt blue carpets, and it was very nice in that way. I personally wouldn't choose it again just because there's things that it didn't have that I want.
Yeah, and if you're trying to avoid kids, yes, it'd be a good place to go.
Yeah, but you know what? Like I said, at Pop Century, there's a ton of kids staying there, but we're there to sleep and to shower. So you're gone all day. If you're gone all day to the park, then it doesn't matter how many kids are staying there.
So it's just a personal preference.
So that was the hotel. That's the hotel review, and then people were wondering. How did you feel about going this time of year?
It was fine. It was very, very cold a few times but it was like unusually cold. It was like even they had said it usually doesn't get this cold. So it was just happened to be a cold snap going through. It just happened to be that time, you know. So, but it was pretty cold, and I can't imagine going in December. I mean, you're gonna be wearing coats.
I can't imagine going in December either.
Yeah.
I think it would be a lot colder than people expect. Because it was pretty brutal when we were there.
It got down to the low a couple nights was in the 30s, which like 35 or something. Which, like I said, that's unusual weather. That's very unusual. It doesn't usually get that cold. We just got lucky.
I don't think we got lucky with it.
I was being sarcastic.
Oh.
We got lucky that was the coldest it's been in years, you know. But in the mornings, it was still down to like 40. In the afternoon, some days it didn't get above 55 or so. A couple times, I think, and that's pretty cool.
I packed many pairs of shorts, and so did Kevin. I wore shorts one day, but only for a few hours. And then that was the Epcot day.
I think I did the same thing.
Yeah, and then we went back to the room and we changed because as long as...
wore jeans the rest of the time.
as long as the sun was on you, it was fine. The rest of the time we were in blue jeans, and I was completely fine in blue jeans.
Yeah.
I never got hot.
No. And a lot of other people were wearing jeans and slacks and stuff too. So
absolutely.
It wasn't just like we were the oddballs that were cold. It was a lot of people. Although you saw a lot of people in shorts and little cut-off t-shirts and stuff too. And it's like, I don't know how they're even doing that.
No, it's like they have to be freezing.
Yeah.
Somebody said...
so would I do this time of year again? Probably not. I would wait probably another month and wait until like April, May is the earliest I'd probably go. Unless I knew straight out, I knew I was going to be cold. Like if you went through Christmas or October, you know it's going to be cold. So you know you're going to wear pants and sweatshirts the whole time.
Right. And I had some people say, well, because we said it was incredibly busy. It was busier than it's ever been. And some people were like, well, why did you go during spring break? Well, it wasn't spring break in Kentucky.
Yeah.
In Kentucky.
Nowhere near spring break.
No, it was nowhere near spring break. Ashley didn't have spring break for 2 more weeks after that. So
I would think it's going to be spring break somewhere anyway.
Yeah, during it. Yeah. So for months and months and months, you're going to have it. Yeah. So I don't think that had a thing to do with it.
If it's Florida spring break, it would have made a difference.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't keep track. I mean, I don't keep track of other states' spring break or when other countries are having their spring break or whatever. I think, though, people commented that had been back in October. People commented that had been many different times, and they have said This is the way it is now. It is a very, very crowded. It overcrowded. It is a very.
Almost like they let too many people in.
Yes, it is way overcrowded. It is so crowded that for any little ride, you are standing in line for a long, long time.
Yeah, and in the past, we can only judge how it was in the past for us.
This was our 5th trip, though.
Yeah.
So,
but we can only judge on the years in previously, and this is one of the busiest times, and we've been multiple times during the summer, and it's never been this busy.
No, this was the worst.
Because it's all the bigger rides are always got a big long line, but we never had issues getting on smaller things. Like, for example, Alice's Teacups. You could usually get on that ride within, even a long line was like 15, 20 minutes maybe. We were standing there for 45 minutes just to ride Teacups. So
yeah, it was ridiculous.
It was crazy.
But we wanted to do it. You know, it's one of those things where pretty much all the rides at Magic Kingdom are small. So it's not like we were missing out. We could have been in a line for something big. No, all the rides at Magic Kingdom are pretty small.
Yeah, they got a couple of little roller coasters, but
so you know, you want to do something while you're there. So it's basically just pick your line because you're going to be standing in line. Somebody left a comment. I thought it was a really good comment. She said they should change they shouldn't call it a standby line. She said because that's like when you think of a standby line, it's like at the airport when you're in standby.
Right, well, you're waiting for other people.
You may get on, but you may not get on.
Well, that's what it's turned into.
Yeah, really. I mean,
that is what it's turned into.
So it's appropriate because it's like, okay, you may get on, but it might be an hour and a half or 2 hours from now.
Yeah, you're not the important person anymore. No. It's the people that did Genie Plus and have Lightning Lane or whatever. You are standing by waiting for them to get on.
Yes. So if this is the first video you've watched from this trip, we decided not to do Genie Plus. It was going to be a lot more costly. And we thought, you know what? We're adults. We're not taking children. We're patient people. We're pretty patient people. And we'll just wait in the lines and see how it goes. I'm still glad that we didn't pay the extra for it. I really am.
I am too. There were times when I was standing in line like we haven't moved in like 15 minutes, not like one step have we moved 15 minutes, but the Lightning Lane's going.
Space Mountain was the worst.
Space Mountain, and I think the Avatar rides were pretty bad too.
Avatar rides were bad. Yeah. Haunted Mansion, I got that on camera. I made sure because I thought, people won't realize unless I film this. Because see, I told you at the beginning of this video, I try to keep the negativity out of the vlogs. It's like Instagram versus reality. You know, the vlogs are happy, but now I'm telling you the truth.
The Haunted Mansion was ridiculous. We stood there while they filled that whole queue up twice with Lightning Lane.
And I mean, people just going, and we're just standing there. It was really bad.
But that's what a lot of the rides are now, is you... I said this during, I'm sure Tammy cut it out because I was very aggravated that one night. It is like if you don't do Genie Plus and do the Lightning Lanes, they don't care about you as a park goer. They're getting you money. They're getting you money because you're paying for tickets to get in there, but you're only going to get to ride. Well, you can stand in line and ride pretty much everything. I mean, we rode everything. We did not ride anything, but you're going to stand in line and wait and wait and wait.
By the time you get on certain things, it sucks the joy out of it because you've waited so long. And then by the time you get on it, it's like, and I'm going to tell you, I wrote down for me, my point of frustration was this one particular ride, and I'll tell you why. It was that in Magic Kingdom, it was that Buzz Lightyear, I think it was called like Space Ranger or something like that.
Yeah, where you're shooting the little targets.
I tell you why that was like the worst ride we went on. Because we waited.
Yeah, they should have almost said, okay, you guys can ride again.
Really. We waited, I think, for over an hour for that ride, which, whatever. But then once we got on it, they stopped it. I'm not exaggerating at all. They stopped it every 20 seconds, the entire ride we were on it. Sorry, we've had to, it stopped unexpectedly. It ruined the entire experience of the ride because they literally stopped it every 20 seconds and you were listening to somebody's voice come on. And it was awful. And I just sat there thinking, we
waited in line for
we
this.
waited in line for over an hour for this to happen, and you don't even get to enjoy the ride from start to finish because they're stopping it so much. It was horrible.
It's not like there's anything really fun to look at either. Not like the Haunted Mansion where there's at least a few things to look at.
Right. Yeah. This is like that was the worst ride for me.
Yeah.
And then I also took note that some other things that I think they've tried to be sneaky about, and I could be totally wrong about this, but I believe it in my heart they've done it, is with Winnie the Pooh and Peter Pan.
Especially those two.
Yes, I believe they have sped those up.
100% sped them up.
So when you...
Because even, I was talking to somebody else and he even said, that thing goes fast. The Peter Pan one.
Yeah, you wait in line for Peter Pan, and...
It's a long line.
And we didn't wait in line as long as some people because we rode it, I think, at the end of the night.
Was the night, yeah.
When you get on it, you barely have time to get your bearings into what room you're in. Like, you start out in, like, Wendy's bedroom, like Peter Pan, like the movie. You barely
fly out the window.
Yeah, you barely have time to glance to get your bearings that, okay, you're going into darkness, you're gone. And you're swishing through there so quickly, you're in and out, and it's like, oh my gosh, this was literally like a 40-second ride.
Yeah, it's fast.
It was very fast.
You fly through the bedroom, and by the time you get in the bedroom and then through the bedroom, it's like 2 seconds, and you're like, where did I just go through? And then you do this little loop over London, this model, which is a very detailed model.
And you don't even
have time to see what you're even looking at.
No.
You would never no clue what that even was.
No, because you don't. They sped
really
it up so much to get people through there quickly that it's just ruined it. It's ruined the entire experience of the ride.
Yeah.
So
I understand why they speed it up because they're trying to get more people through, but it does ruin the experience for the people that have waited in line for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
They really, really, really need to limit how many people are going in the parks because it's so crowded. Yeah. It's ruined the entire
And they
ride.
have a reservation system when we went.
Yeah.
So you had to reserve your spot in the park. So you would think that they would be even smaller numbers than the past, and instead it's huge numbers.
Yeah, they really, really need to cut back on their numbers because you know it's fine, you're paying more, but then have fewer people in there. Yeah. Make it worth your while because the way it is right now, it is just...
That's the bad thing is they've increased cost, which we'll talk about cost, but they've increased the cost, but they're letting so many people in, you're not getting as much for your money.
No, not at all. Okay, so somebody said, what is your favorite park?
I really like just Magic Kingdom because there's more activities there to do.
Right.
However, it was the most crowded there is.
Yeah, out of the four, it is the most crowded.
If I were to pick one park to go to, though, we like different things, though.
Okay.
No, I'm saying than other people probably do. I would probably pick Epcot, honestly, because I like walking through the different world showcases and looking at the different shops and stuff.
That's my pick is Epcot.
Yeah, I like that.
Absolutely, Epcot.
I like the Swarm ride, and the test track's pretty decent, and they're adding the Guardians of the Galaxy ride pretty soon too.
Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, Spaceship Earth. So I like all those, and I like all the shops you can go through. So that probably would be the one. If I had to pick one park, it'd probably be that one.
I would pick Epcot as well.
Yeah.
I like living with the land. Yeah. I like riding through and seeing the what they're growing.
There's a lot more walking at Epcot, though.
Yes, but
you are going to walk a lot more.
But I like that too. So I told you every night I tried to keep track of tell you how many steps we took and all that. During the wrap-ups, I like to walk, so to me it's like I was fine with that.
I would rather be walking because my feet started hurting so bad after a while. Standing in line, you don't realize how bad your feet will hurt standing on concrete unless you do it all the time. they just kill you.
It is easier to just keep moving.
If you're walking, it's not as bad. But if you're standing in line, having to shift your weight and just standing in one spot, it's a lot harder on you. So, but anyway, yeah, Epcot would be my
As adults, I would say Epcot, yes, definitely for us. I think any kid,
small children especially,
small children are going to pick Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
They're going to love Magic Kingdom.
I really did like the Star Wars area of Hollywood. I liked it, but there wasn't a whole lot to do back there, really.
No, they
have 2 rides. That's it.
In that area,
Yeah, they have 2 rides.
There's another Star Wars ride, but it's not a part of that area.
Yeah,
it was
the Star
already there.
Tours,
It was already there.
But the Star Wars area has 2 rides. Really good rides. They're excellent rides, but they only have 2. They have some stores. They have the Ronto Wrap, which is the best food Disney has. And they have some stores where you can build a droid or build a lightsaber.
And they're pretty cool. The theming in the stores.
Oh, yeah. Everything's really cool.
Phenomenal.
But I would never spend money, and I'm sure millions of people have, but I would never spend money buying a plastic droid or a lightsaber. That's just, I personally wouldn't spend the money to do that. But it looks cool that you could add, you can make your own little robot and they put it in a box and everything for you.
We did see a lot of parents carrying boxes for their kids. If Kevin and I had kids, we would do it for our kids. We would totally have done it.
Yeah, if I had a kid into Star Wars,
we would totally.
What droid do you want to make?
But for us personally, and we don't have that kind of theming in our house or anything like that, and we don't have like a dedicated office to display stuff like that.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I personally those are 2 areas that didn't mean anything to me because I'm not going to buy that kind of stuff anyway. That's what I mean. So there's really only 3 things in the Star Wars area that were appealed to me.
Right. Yeah. If you had to, there are 4 main parks. You have Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood, and then Animal Kingdom. Or is that what it's called? Animal Kingdom? Which one would you not go to?
Animal Kingdom. I could honestly care less about ever going to Animal Kingdom.
I could too. I think if you're going to Disney,
we always feel like we have to go though because you've flown down there and you're staying.
Well, we hadn't done Pandora yet.
Yeah, and Pandora's really the only thing they have going.
Now that we've been to Pandora, I don't need to go back to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like if I were to go, if I were to book a trip to Disney tomorrow, I would not reserve tickets at all for Animal Kingdom. I wouldn't go there at all.
And I'm sure some people absolutely love. Some people said it's their favorite park, but for us, it's just okay.
No, it's just okay. But what is out of all the Disney parks, what is your favorite ride that they have right now?
Probably the Star Wars, the Rise of the Resistance. That was probably one of my favorite ones.
Okay. The reason I asked him that is because I would say my favorite ride in all the parks is Flight of Passage at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. I have 3 that really are my top.
Flight of Passage
that would be one.
Phenomenal.
Rise of the Resistance and that new Ratatouille ride in France in Epcot.
Right.
Those are my 3. Like you should at least ride them once.
So even though I picked like Flight of Passage is like the best ride that I think Disney has, I still wouldn't choose to go to that park because the wait time is so long. Ridiculous. And honestly,
you've been in line for so long and you get to the top of this like mountain and you're thinking, oh, we're almost there. No, you're not even a third
You're not even
of the
close. No. Yeah, you think once we get up there, we'll have made it.
No.
Oh no, heck no. No.
The turnstiles or the turn gates inside the building is just nuts.
And the theming is absolutely terrific.
I love it. Yeah.
But I still wouldn't choose to. I think, like I was going to say, if you're going to Disney for the first time, I think you should absolutely go to all 4 parks.
Oh, yeah.
Go to all 4 of them, experience all 4 of them. But since we have been now 5 times to Animal Kingdom, I don't need to go back ever again.
Yeah.
I just don't. What would you say? Somebody said, what is your must do in each park? So my must do in Animal Kingdom would be Flight of Passage.
Yeah, that's the only thing you must do in Animal Kingdom.
And I do have to warn you, I am absolutely terrified of heights. It's scary. It's intense. It is a very intense. It is the most immersive ride I've ever been on in my life. You really feel like you are riding on a banshee. I've described it during the wrap up that night. You literally feel the pulsations of him breathing on your calves. I mean, you feel like you are on him, and it is intense, but it is also beautiful. It's beautiful, and it will just take your breath away.
And the
whole
smells
thing.
And everything.
It truly is. It's something else. So Flight of Passage.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay,
I 100% agree.
And then if you go to Hollywood,
it'd be the
Rise of the Resistance. I agree. Rise of the Resistance.
Although there's plenty. The Star Tours ride's nice, but it's very short. But we got on all that one pretty quick for a while. But Rise of the Resistance, yes, that's my must.
And you know what? I enjoyed that Slinky Dog Dash. I really did. Yeah. It was very cute. I had fun. I think I laughed from start to finish on it.
She does. Every time she gets on a roller coaster, she laughs. Like this manacle.
I thought it was very, very fun. I would do that again. I think that's great for kids and adults. Okay, so then in Epcot, what would you say? Epcot would be Ratatouille.
Ratatouille. Soarin' would have been my number one, but then they added that. So
Ratatouille is a but. Not if you have to wait in line for 2 hours for it.
Yeah,
because then you're just going to be
that.
Ticked off by the time you get up there.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really nice ride, but
it is nice. It's pretty.
It's more of a story ride than anything. I mean, it's neat.
It's not worth a 2 hour wait.
No. I don't know that any ride really is much worth 2 hours.
But the rides we're telling you about, if you get a chance to go to the park first thing in the morning, those are the rides to go to. So Flight of Passage would be the first ride. You need to go straight there. You need to know where it's at.
Some of them, they don't open those areas before, but they may. You just have to check.
So you need to be in line for those. Okay, now what would you say?
Magic Kingdom?
Uh-huh.
That one's hard because there's so many different ones.
The first one we rode and we waited forever.
Yeah, and it's not worth it.
Is that
Snow White's mine cart thing?
Mine train?
Whatever.
The mine cart.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, it's okay, but it's...
We waited a long time.
And we got there first thing. And waited a long time.
Yeah.
They hadn't even opened the gates up to the ride when we were sitting in line.
Yeah, and it was a long wait. Fortunately, we met some nice people and we had a really good conversation, which makes it go by, makes the time pass. But, it was way too long of a wait.
And I think it's an okay roller coaster kind of ride. If you like roller coasters, but beyond that, it's okay.
My favorite thing to do in Magic Kingdom is probably lame for a lot of people, but I like the People Mover. I genuinely like the People Mover. It is
usually not a huge long ride.
It lasts I think it's like 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah. It's a 10 or 15 minutes. And you get to
sit down and
you
relax.
Get a view of the park, and you get to see everything, and you get a nice breeze, and they're building Tron right now, so you got to really get a good
Tron will be cool once it opens.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be big.
It's going to be a true roller coaster.
Yeah.
My favorite thing, I would have at one time said Pirates of the Caribbean. And it is nice, but when we went, we rode twice. And when we were riding it, I was noticing there's really only about 5 scenes in Pirates, and you're done. Mm-hmm. So you're waiting in line this whole time to see 5 very well done
major scenes, yeah.
And you're like, was it worth it?
I tell you what, too, the people you're riding with can either make the ride more enjoyable or they can make you miserable. We went, when we went on the carousel.
I was glad you mentioned that.
When we went on the carousel.
Who doesn't enjoy a good carousel, right?
You would have never known from my video of the carousel that I literally felt like stabbing these people in the eye. That's how frustrated I was. It was the most miserable experience I think I've ever had on a ride.
And solely because of the people on there.
The people on there. There were 2 teenage girls on the carousel horses in front of us, and every single time it would go around, every time it would go up, she'd go, "Wow!" no! And she would scream at the top of her lungs and throw her hands in the air, wow, on a carousel. So you didn't get to enjoy the music.
No, the music was ruined.
You didn't get to enjoy
just looking around,
just
and
looking
enjoying
around,
it.
having that jolly holiday like Mary Poppins experience with the carousel.
No.
There was none of that.
You would think she was doing it on purpose too. And,
she was doing it on purpose,
acting like she was on a roller coaster or something. And
it was it was torture. I'm telling you, it was torture.
ridiculous.
It took everything I had, just like not to just like.
I know.
Yeah,
but you know what?
can't.
Everybody has fun in their different ways. They were being annoying and having fun.
It was horrible. And then
Whatever.
on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, we had a group of teenagers hanging all over each other in that one.
They were taking that opportunity. I guess they thought because it was dark in there that nobody else can see what goes on, and you can. But then there's a part in Pirates, I'm going to give a little something away. There's a drop in Pirates of the Caribbean. There's one drop, and it's not a big drop, but there is a drop in Pirates of the Caribbean.
It was literally nothing, but it feels like it's big, but it's probably nothing.
There was one of those teenage girls that screamed. You would have thought she had been stabbed. Literally thought that she had been stabbed, and it wasn't just a little scream and it was over. It was long and
shrill.
Yes. So,
and there was there was a kid with some form of disability in front of us. I mean, he wasn't like in a wheelchair or anything like that, but he had a mental disability, but he was still having a ball, and he had to sit behind these people acting like idiots. I kind of felt sorry for him. He didn't get to enjoy it.
Yeah, you just feel sorry for. It's like, there's more people than just you. It's not just all about you. So when you're screaming and acting a fool on a carousel, you're ruining it for everybody else. I mean, they had people, there were elderly people on the carousel with us. There were young people. People were, really, looking around like, why is she ruining this for everybody? Because she genuinely ruined the experience. And I thought, this is the only time we're going to be on this, and she ruined it. But you would have not known that from my videos.
Some people would say you can't mess with other people's fun. If that's their idea of fun, and you do your fun, they'll do their fun. But when it ruins your fun, it does kind of aggravate you.
Yeah, because she was clearly not. It wasn't just us.
She wasn't doing that just to have fun. She was literally doing it.
She was doing it on purpose to be annoying. And if it had just been us, but I was looking at other people.
Everybody on that
everybody was looking at
what
her
the hell's
like,
their problem?
why is she acting like that? She was just truly running it for everybody. Then let's see. Oh, the food. Let's talk about the food.
Bronto wrap all the way. Need that in every park, 100%.
Yes.
Not even a question.
So, and then I got.
I mean, I don't even have to think about it.
I had some people say, didn't you make a video of a recipe of the Ronto wrap?
Yeah, it wasn't anything like it.
No, it's nothing like that. The recipe in that recipe book is not the Ronto wrap at all. There's not even any similarities except that it's in that pita bread.
And the sauce may have been similar. But the sausage and the meats and the slaw and all that
completely different. No, completely different.
Do you think the Ronto wrap is like one of the best?
I think the Ronto wrap is the best thing at Disney.
Yeah.
Yes, out of all the parks.
Yeah.
That is the thing that
I do like the flatbreads at that Pinocchio house.
Pinocchio house. I do too.
I really do like those flatbreads,
but not the breadstick. And I didn't even try. Kevin had the breadstick. He said this is not good.
No, it's not good.
And I trust Kevin's opinion, so it's like, well, I know.
The cake pops weren't that good either, honestly.
It was okay. It was your traditional.
It was
dark chocolate.
It was dark chocolate.
It was dark chocolate cake pop. I think people will like it for a little hit of something sweet. But that was the Ronto wrap is the best food. The worst food, anything at Animal Kingdom. No.
It was very blah at Animal Kingdom. We got the barbecue, which is probably the same barbecue they have at 10 other restaurants around it. It was very bland. It was just bland. It wasn't anything to it.
Nothing.
I would have rather had a chili dog at Casey's than that.
Right.
Which we didn't go to Casey's this time.
No, we didn't.
But it was so busy up there.
But Casey's wasn't. It's raining outside if you
Just
hear
because
that.
you hear
Casey's on our last visit wasn't that great.
Yeah.
And so normally on every vacation, every trip, we've gone to Casey's to eat. Casey's Corner with the hot dogs and stuff like that. It wasn't that great last time, so we didn't go again this time. So yeah, the Ronto wrap was the best, and I would say that just the blandness of, and I know Animal Kingdom does have some good places to eat.
Yeah.
We just didn't pick one.
Well, we were going to get the Pizza Fari or whatever,
which is okay. I mean, it's not stellar pizza,
no,
but it's
but they were closed.
Yeah, they were closed. I do like, to be positive, I really like the mobile ordering.
Oh yeah, mobile ordering is the way to go.
Oh, it's awesome. It is totally awesome. Because you would order your food, and within 5 minutes, whenever we use that service, within 5 minutes, it's ready. It's done.
Mm-hmm. And you're sitting at the table waiting anyway. So what we did was we would go find, except for Pinocchio House, you couldn't do that. But, well, we kind of did, but you had to order it first. But for the other places, we would literally go find a place to sit down, stake our place, because you have to stake a place out or it's so busy. Find a table to sit at and then order it and then go pick it up and come back and eat. So. And
I think I said it in the wrap-up video. I do like it that in Pinocchio's Village House, you had to mobile order and show them on your phone that you had mobile ordered before you were allowed to go in.
Right,
and
so
get
you
a
couldn't
table.
just get an air-conditioned seat for an hour.
I love that because that meant everybody in there is taking up a table that's going to be eating here. You didn't get a bunch of people just sitting in there taking up a table that weren't eating. Right. I like that because that meant there was plenty of seating.
Yeah. Yeah, and there was plenty of seating. Yeah. We got next to It's a Small World every time we went in.
Yeah, and it's so fun because
it's fun because you wave.
You wave at everybody. When people are getting their boats, you wave at them and they'll wave back at you.
Some of them will look at you like you're crazy. Like,
yeah.
what the heck are they
One little girl blew me a kiss. I blew her a kiss back. You know, it was just a fun time. Okay, so we talked about. We're almost done. The best part, best food, worst food, weather, must do in each park.
I think we talked about all of that.
Okay, yeah, I think we did too. So, the cost. Our flights, we got the Delta Comfort Plus. This is the price for 2 people there. Round trip. It was $1,586.48.
But we did do Delta Plus, which does cost more. But
Comfort Plus.
But we like the additional leg room and the additional bigger seats.
And I showed that in the video so that you can see.
For us, it's worth it.
Yeah, it's nice. And then for the hotel, it's a, what did you call it, a package?
Yeah, it's a package. You buy the hotel and the tickets.
So I can't tell you how much it costs.
And that was the transportation from the airport to the hotel and the hotel to the airport.
Yeah, so we did do the Mears transportation. I can't tell you how much it costs just for the park tickets or just for the hotel because it's a package. So we paid for the yacht club and for the park tickets. We had 6 days of tickets and 6 nights at the hotel or the resort. It was $6,019.34.
Yeah.
And
of course now that's at a deluxe resort, so keep that in mind.
Yes.
That's more expensive.
So if you go to Pop Century, which I would totally recommend Pop Century, and those have been renovated since the last time we were there.
I love Pop Century.
We like the theming and everything.
Yeah, it's just fun.
I would totally recommend you go there. It's not going to cost you as much, hopefully. And then for food, we figured for food we spent probably about $500. Because I said this in one of
But that was also for extra food like cookies for reviews and stuff like that. So that includes all food pretty much, except for drinks.
So like every time we bought a Coke, it was $4.99. That's how much a regular size bottle of Coke Zero, it was $5. And we did buy as much as we wanted. We weren't worried about it. You know, when we're on vacation, we eat everything we want to eat. And we drink whatever we want to drink, so that was our choice.
If you're on a budget, drink water.
If you're on a budget, I would recommend, especially for Magic Kingdom, take packets, take the
Kool-Aid packets,
Kool-Aid packets, the flavor packets, the powder, and get water. They will give you a free.
They used to. I'm assuming they still.
I'm assuming they'll still give you water. I think that's something that
it's not bottled water though. It's just a cup.
It's just a cup of water. Add your drink packet to it because the water in Magic Kingdom tastes like sulfur.
Yeah.
And
or you can buy bottled water. It was cheaper than the bottles of Coke.
But it was still like $3.
Yeah, it was still expensive, but it was cheaper.
Yeah, it was like $3 for a bottle of Dasani or something. Kind of crazy. So our total was $8,105.82.
Yeah.
Now, that does not include souvenirs that I bought at all.
Right, because you may go and never buy one thing.
You might not buy any souvenirs. You might have 15 people to buy for, whereas I had a smaller group of people to buy for.
Yeah, so souvenirs going to be relative to the person.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that I did not include souvenirs in that at all. So that price has gone up from past years.
Yeah, but if you take into account that we did get a deluxe resort, that makes a difference too.
Yes.
And we had to pay for the transportation, which wasn't really expensive, but you did add that cost for transportation from the airport to the hotel, and the hotel to the airport. That was a small cost in there as well. So those are additional costs that we would have not had before. However, this time we booked so late, there was very limited options, so don't book late.
Yeah, that was our mistake. I didn't realize when we started looking, I didn't realize that it would have already been booked up.
Yeah, I mean, literally, you should do 6 months to 8 months ahead of time.
If you're planning a Disney vacation, you need to be talking about it 6 months before you plan to go. You need to be looking on there because it's going to sell out. We did not discuss going to Disney Springs at all, and I want to because one of the highlights of my trip was Gideon's. Bakehouse.
It was good.
It is the coolest theming.
For cookie shop.
It's cookies. It's giant cookies. And so if you missed that review, we reviewed their cookies. And I showed going inside. The artwork is terrific. Somebody asked me, did I buy a shirt? I didn't, because what the deal is, from what I can gather, is they change out they give you a postcard. And the postcard has the picture on it for the month.
Right.
And so like the t-shirts are mainly themed with that person on it for that month. So I had a favorite character on the wall. If they had had that character on a t-shirt, I would have totally bought a t-shirt. But they didn't. They had this other guy on the t-shirt for that month. And I just wasn't interested in that. They're absolutely wonderful cookies. People have asked me, is it worth standing in line? How long did you stand in line?
We didn't wait that long.
We didn't. I don't feel like we waited that long.
We probably waited 15 minutes, maybe.
But what was good about it is that the time of night we went, it was like dinner time. And so I'm thinking it's called like Raglan Road or something, was like right across from Gideon's, whatever it's called. It's like this Irish pub or something. And they
had people out there singing.
They were singing. So, we're waiting in line for Gideon's, but he's over there singing Sweet Caroline, and the crowd's going dun dun dun, and you're hearing all this music, and so you're entertained the whole time you're in line. And they give you the postcard, which has the menu on there, and so you can be looking at that. You can be looking at it on your phone to see what all you can get. But I thought it was totally worth the 15-20 minute wait to go in. Even though the line looks long, it really doesn't. It moved pretty quickly. And there is a little bit of a queue that you're going through once you get in. But it truly doesn't take that long. And once you get in...
It's not an open store where you're walking around in the store.
No, you are literally...
You're walking through like a little turnstiles,
yes.
And then you walk down the bakery section, you
yes.
order your cookies,
yeah.
And you get them. And then you leave.
But once you get in, even though you're in a queue, there's so much for you to look at and talk about that you're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it. Good. If I went to any place as far as food, even if you don't eat at a restaurant, I would go to Gideon's and get a cookie.
Yeah, it was good. I like Disney Spring. I think it's a little confusing the way they've got it kind of laid out. And you said someone asked about the app. Why didn't we use the app?
Yes. Bobby asked why didn't we use that.
I hadn't started using the app a lot for like maps at that point, finding stuff. I found the things like where it's at, but as far as using the app to find where we were going, I really hadn't started doing that until we got to the park. Didn't think about it at Disney Springs. Didn't even think about would that even be an option. Their maps though are horrible. They're not oriented correctly.
Yeah,
they're all oriented the same way, regardless of which direction the sign's pointing. They're all oriented the same way. So you go like, okay, this is here. Okay, there's that. Now where is it? Okay, where am I? You know. Yeah,
if you
and
I'm
good at reading. I'm good at reading.
Kevin's really good at maps. Kevin's great, and like in London, he's really good at all that.
It's still confusing.
If you live there, if you go all the time, I'm sure you have absolutely no issue at all.
And it's just basically
to it.
2 circles.
But for people who have not been there since this whole boom, I mean, it's like a whole new town's been created. It is confusing.
It's a neat place to go. If you have any time left over on your Disney trip, you should take a half day and go there.
Absolutely, really you don't, and it's free. I mean, it's not like you're paying for it. You don't have to buy one. Yeah, you don't have to buy anything. You could just go down there and walk through the shops. Yep. Now, for the most part, it's a lot of expensive shops. It really is. But you do have huge Disney stores. You have the Lego store,
which is it's still expensive, but it's
but
Lego
even if you don't buy any Legos at all, they still have neat displays, and even on the outside of the store, they have neat displays. I would encourage you to go towards the evening because we had only been before during the like 90-degree days in the summer, and there's very little shelter, and so it's very, very hot. Whereas if you go at night, the whole place is lit up. It's beautiful at night.
And if you want to eat there, make a reservation.
We learned that the hard way. Yeah.
The burger place we went to wasn't bad because it's kind of a fast food restaurant, but if you want any kind of table service, you have to make a reservation.
Even if the restaurant looks huge, like Planet Hollywood, you would think this is a huge place. Nope, couldn't get in. So even though I thought, oh, we'll be able to get in this place, we went to probably 4 places one night and ended up eating a Wetzel's pretzel
out in the cold.
Out in the cold, it was miserable because we hadn't made a reservation. Because I thought, oh, these places are big; they can hold two little people.
Yeah, that was just our
stupidity. We just so you really do need to make a reservation. But what we came out of from this trip was we had a very good time. We are very thankful that we had the money to go, and we hadn't been in a long time, so we really do appreciate getting to go. That being said, I won't say we'll never go back, but I think it will be a very, very, very long time before we do go back.
Unless they make some changes.
And I do think before, from our other trips, I would have said, oh, you have to go. You have to take your kids. They're going to love it. They're going to have a blast. This is a don't miss vacation. I wouldn't do that now. Like for Andrew and Christine and them, I would not, absolutely not. I would tell them, nope, the way it is right now, you don't want to go. And that's a shame.
It's just too crowded.
It's too crowded.
And the way they're doing Genie Plus, unless you buy Genie Plus, you are going to be waiting in line.
Well, and even if you do buy Genie Plus,
you're still waiting in line.
I still think you're screwed even if you do buy Genie Plus.
Yeah, but I
really do.
If you've got small children or even relatively small children, young children, if you don't have Genie Plus, you're going to be miserable most of the day because you're going to be standing in line. They're going to get cranky and mad.
But the reason I say even if you do have Genie Plus, I still don't think it's a good deal because some of the reservations, okay, you've reserved your spot on Space Mountain, but they're not letting you get on it until 8 o'clock that night. Well, what good does that do for all day long? I'm having to drag these kids around holding their hand or in a stroller, and to me, it still isn't. It still isn't a good system.
Yeah,
I think even if you do get Genie Plus, I still think I still think it's a bad
Yeah,
experience.
it seemed to run smoother when it was just regular fast passes.
Well, I have had actual people, more than one, tell me in the comments that work at Disney that during COVID, when they really were keeping numbers down, they didn't have any Genie Plus and they didn't have any fast passes, and they say that it ran better with nothing, with no fast
But it
pass.
was less people.
It was less people, but they said with no fast pass system at all and no Genie, they thought it ran 10 times better with nothing. You just get in line and it is what it is. Because everybody's on the same level
Right.
and you're just going. They liked it better as workers.
Yeah, because Genie Plus, literally, you're paying money for the star treatment, sort of, because you get to go in a separate line and you get seating priority. So they will seat you first. And if that lightning lane starts backing up, then guess what? Guess what the standby line's doing? They're standing by, waiting for all that line to clear out. So it really, that's why I said they're kind of treating the people that don't do Genie Plus poorly, because you're not as good as the people that have paid the extra money.
Right.
So that, for that reason, the crowd and the way that whole system's working, yeah, I'm just not interested for a while.
So this is coming from an opinion. We don't get paid by Disney. We don't get perks from Disney. Some YouTube channels do get perks from Disney. And they might not want to tell you the truth. We will tell you that I like you all enough as my viewers. We like you enough that we want to tell you the truth. And the truth is, I would not choose Disney for my vacation as long as it is the way it is right now. It's just too busy. I think with children, I think you would consider it hell. I think you would be...
Some people would have considered it hell anyway.
Truth.
Because it's
But
crowded.
right now it's so busy that I would not recommend you do it. Even with Genie Plus, I would not recommend you take a vacation right now. So even though we're grateful, I don't want to sound, it may be like, well, you got to go and I'll never get to go and you're not grateful. Yeah, I'm grateful I got to go, but I'm also being honest with you. So that's what these videos are all about. So if you have any other questions, you can leave them below. I tried to touch on the questions that I got throughout the process. But I appreciate every single person who watched the videos and you gave me a like and you left comments and stuff like that. We appreciate it very, very much. And thanks for watching.